Yesterday, I told you about my mother, Dixie Lynn Roberts, the white American woman who became Mumina, my Umi. Today, we're going to the other side of my family. My father's story began in Mississippi, in a family connected to the sharecropping life of the Delta. He would serve in the United States Army, make his way to Chicago, drive a cab, work whatever jobs he could find, embrace Islam, help raise a family, and eventually become president of the Chicago Jamaat. Before I ever learned what leadership meant from a Navy chief, I had already been watching a man provide, work, struggle, and lead. My name is Abdunnoor, Chief Bullhead, Karim, and this is day 4 of the most interesting Muslim in the world, from the cotton fields to Chicago. To understand my father, you have to understand where his family came from. His roots were in Mississippi, in a sharecropping family. That word, sharecropping, can sound like something from an old history book, but for families who lived it, it wasn't history. It was work, poverty, survival, and a system that could keep people working land they would never own. My father grew up understanding hard work because hard work wasn't optional. That Mississippi beginning would stay with him even after he left the South. I believe that is part of the reason I watched him take whatever honest work was available when his own family needed food. He had learned long before I was born that nobody was going to hand you survival. My father also served in the United States Army. Military service became another thread that would eventually connect generations of my family. My mother served in the Army. My father served in the Army. Years later, their son would spend nearly 30 years in the United States Navy. When I was a child, I couldn't see that pattern. Looking backward, it's impossible to miss. Service was already in my family before I ever put on a uniform. Eventually, my father's road led to Chicago. Chicago offered opportunity, but opportunity did not mean life suddenly became easy. He drove a cab. He worked. He hustled. He found odd jobs. When there was a family to feed, he did what he could to bring money home. As a child, I mostly saw Dad leaving and coming back. As a grown man, I understand what was happening between those two moments. He was carrying the pressure of being responsible for other people. There is a kind of dignity in a man being willing to do honest work that nobody applauds. No cameras, no awards, no fancy title, just my family needs to eat, so I'm going to work. Chicago was also where Islam became central to my father's life. He became deeply involved in the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Over time, he took on greater responsibility and eventually became president of the Chicago Jamaat. That meant Islam wasn't something we practiced only on a particular day of the week. The mosque was part of our family's daily life. The community was part of our family life. Service was expected. My father wasn't perfect, and neither was our family. But one thing I saw was that when he committed himself to something, he could commit himself completely. Then my father's story crossed my mother's. Think about the contrast. His family came out of Mississippi. Her family story ran through Michigan. He was black, she was white. They both had military connections. They both eventually shared Islam. And they came together during an era when interracial marriage and interracial families could still bring hostility that younger Americans may have trouble imagining. My parents didn't give birth to a political statement. They gave birth to children. But they challenged a lot of the boxes America liked to put people into. Some of my earliest memories and family stories are not about wealth. They are about making do. My father would do whatever he could to make money to feed us. Meanwhile, my Umi stayed close to Sadiq Mosque with the children. We lived next to the Robert Taylor homes, and she was cautious. That meant my father's job wasn't only to make money, he was also part of the bridge between our little family world and everything outside it. I didn't know the word provider, I just knew Dad went out and came back. Now, I know those trips meant something. Years later, the Navy would teach me about leadership. I would meet good chiefs, bad chiefs, commanding officers, Marines, doctors, Navy SEALs, and leaders at every level. But some of my earliest leadership lessons came before any of that. My father taught me that leadership starts with responsibility. If people depend on you, you don't get to disappear just because the situation is difficult. You solve what you can solve. You find resources. That philosophy followed me through my entire military career. Give me a problem, and I'm going to start looking for a way to fix it. As children, we often judge our fathers by what they gave us. As adults, we begin to understand them by what they were carrying. A memoir shouldn't turn your parents into heroes or villains. It should try to understand them as human beings. My father was a complicated man. So am I. Here's today's Bullhead lesson. Poverty can explain your beginning. It does not have to determine your ending. My father's family came out of sharecropping. He became a leader in his community. You may inherit difficult circumstances, but you also inherit examples of survival. Don't throw those lessons away. You were sitting at my grill. Here's what I'd tell you about fathers. Sometimes you don't understand your father until you become responsible for somebody else. As a grown man, you may finally understand the bills he was trying to pay. Maturity should make you curious. Learn your father's story while you still have someone to tell it. Tomorrow, I'm bringing both sides of this family together. Day 5, growing up Muslim in America. We're going inside the world that raised me. My name is Abdunnoor, Chief Bullhead Karim. This is the most interesting Muslim in the world. 30 days, 30 stories. And trust me, we're just getting started.